There are calls tonight for Canadian banks to crack down on online abuse. It comes after a CBC News investigation into a case of intimate partner violence. As Katie Nicholson explains, for as little as a penny, abusers can send a hate-filled.
See, here's the thing to try to police the third party. This is the problem for the imposed solution of trying to close off the markets with things like WePay, right? It's always create this fear that's somehow connected to some insane thing like child abuse or sexual harassment that then connects the technology that is destabilizing the country or the socio-political system to then make it so that there's this willingness, this publicly imposed will to stop it, which is purely manufactured. And that's all the CBC does. So much of this is these setting up the stage for the problem for the imposed solution to be brought in. It's a network of manufactured consent.
Message through e-transfers.
Angie Sweeney blocked her ex on every platform.
Email, social media, phone.
But an hour before he killed her, he found another way, attaching abusive messages to e-transfers for small amounts of money, like this one for 1 cent. It horrified her friends.
She was probably thinking oh my God, I thought I had myself locked down and safe.
Abusive e-transfers were such a big problem in Australia during the pandemic, banks had to crack down.
Did you know you can report abusive transactions?
Commonwealth Bank also launched a filtering program which blocks 400,000 abusive messages a year.
Number 1.
It's so successful, it's offered its technology.
See? We need to crack down on the way that we send people money. We never know. You never know where that yen is coming from.
Free to other banks. Another bank down under introduced this reporting tool. Now, advocates in this country want Canadian institutions to follow suit.
I think banks in this country should be taking those steps immediately.
We reached out to all major Canadian banks and Interac to see what they had in place to prevent this type of abuse. Only TD and Interac responded. Both said anyone experiencing abuse should notify their bank. E-transfers are a particularly insidious way to send abusive messages because the target is often owed child or spousal support.
Oftentimes, a survivor has to decide on if they're going to actively resist and put up and view these harassing and threatening messages or not be able to put food on the table.
The federal government says its new online harms bill doesn't apply to abusive e-transfers.
Our new online harms bill doesn't apply to this, but we'll make the fervor so that it soon does.
But threatening messages do fall under the criminal code. The thing is, many survivors are reluctant to get involved with the criminal justice system. It's one of the reasons Angie Sweeney's friends hope the banks stop abusive messages before they are sent.
Any kind of change that can come about in a positive manner from this tragic situation, maybe somebody else won't have to go through something that, she went through.
And one less avenue for abusers to target survivors. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Toronto.